What's up guys, Strats coming at you with a pure Monarch deck profile. This is pretty much only using things from the main 3 structure decks that you're going to be basing this deck off of. Obviously there's a few more things in it that make it a little more pricey, but for the most part it's just 3 of the decks smashed together with like maybe 6 cards added in, I don't know. It's pretty fun, it's really annoying actually. It's actually incredibly annoying to face if you're not playing Cosmo or Draco Pals, but whatever. If you're playing on a competitive scene, I definitely wouldn't, well, I guess I'd say play the Quantum Monarch, which I'm probably going to throw a link to like here or something, just in terms of not getting ruined by Valor, absolutely, but other than that, it's a fun deck. It's a strong deck because it shuts out extra decks without challenge, and it's cheap as hell, so if you're looking to play meta on a budget, this deck will put in work for you. So without further delay, we're going to get into the profile. There's triple Erebus. He's the best in the deck in my opinion. He'll foolish 2 of the Monarch Spell and Trap when he's tribute summoned, and when he's in the grave you can pitch a Monarch Spell and Trap to add 1 monster with 2400 or more attack and 1000 defense from the graveyard to the hand. So basically, whenever he's in the graveyard, you can pitch a Monarch Spell and Trap and add himself back to the hand or any of the other big beat sticks that we're running in the deck. Just such a fantastic card, because the thing I didn't mention is when he foolishes 2 of the Monarch Spell and Trap from the deck to the grave, you can spin one card from their hand, field, or graveyard back into the deck. So you can spin Dark Destroyer away, you can send something from the hand into the deck, or you can take something from the graveyard like it's Burning Abyss or something, put it back in the deck. I don't know why you might want to do that, but whatever. The point is you can get rid of anything and it doesn't target, so he's absolutely insane, and with the 28 beat stick, it is not something that is easily gotten rid of. We're also running 3 Ehther, the Heavenly Monarch. Not as good as Erebus, but still a fantastic card. You can normal summon her during your opponent's turn, so you can actually just tribute 2 monsters or 1 monster, because both these guys have the effect, and I think all the Mega Monarchs do actually. They do. Where you can tribute summon them using 1 monster that's already been tribute summoned. So if you've got Erebus on the field, you can tribute Erebus for Ehther without any other additional monsters needing tribute. But yeah, when you do that, you special summon it on your, or you tribute summon it on your opponent's turn. You can special summon 1 monster from your deck with 2400 or more attack and 1000 defense. So basically you can summon another Monarch from your deck. It's a special summon, so they don't get their tribute summon effects, so there's only so many cards that are good with it, but it bounces back to the hand at the end phase. That's more or less all there is to her, but she's also fantastic. 28 beat stick, puts in so much work. Just her with Stormforth means you get rid of one of your opponent's monsters as well, and it just can really disrupt them depending on what you summon. My Mega Monarch of choice is Mega Caius. I just prefer him because he looks cooler. I might recommend Mega Thestalos because ripping from the opponent's hand probably gets you a little more advantage, but banishing 2 monsters doesn't hurt either, especially if you're going to be banishing 2 cards, because more often than not you're going to be tributing a dark monster to get him out anyways in this deck. So definitely a good card. He's the most expensive. He's like $20 to $30 right now, but other than that, not an expensive deck. I'm also running 1 Kuraz because he gets an effect when special summoned off of Ehther's effect. You can pop 2 cards, and then the player whose cards were popped can draw 1 for you. So if you summon him and you destroy 2 of your opponent's cards, your opponent's going to draw 2. Or what I more often use him for is special summon him, pop 2 of my own cards, and then draw 2. So it's nice deck thinning and consistency and all that. I'm main decking 1 Majest's Fiend because stopping monsters' effects can win you games without challenge. And that's really all there is to be said about it. I'm running 3 Edea, my favorite card in terms of the artwork in this deck, and just a great card overall. That being said, Valoring this card will end your turn entirely, which really sucks, but if not, it puts in a lot of work. When you summon it, you can special summon 1 other Vassal, essentially 1 monster with 800 attack and 1000 defense from your deck, and then when it goes to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Monarch Spell and Trap cards and add it to your hand, which happens a lot. You'll be banishing, and just in general sets up a lot of your combos. The main target is Eidos. I only run 2 because you never want to draw into them. A lot of people will say that 2, 3 is the minimum. You definitely want to run more than 1 of them, but in general you don't want to run into them too often, especially in your opening hand. You never want to draw into them at all actually, so you just straight up minimize the chance of that. I run 2. When he's normal summoned, you can or during the turn that he summoned, you can normal summon one additional time. So with the Edea bring out this, you can then tribute both of them for Mega Monarch. It works beautifully. It's the way the deck is intended to be ran based on what they gave us in it. And then when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to summon one Vassal monster, so one monster with 800 attack and 1000 defense from your graveyard. And then when you do that, you can bring out an Edea, which will bring out another Eidos from the deck. So they loop each other beautifully. And then other than that, I'm running one Mithra. Mithra is great because you can get her on the field without eating up your normal summon at all, and it doesn't ruin your turn if you get Veiler, because it's like whatever, you didn't. If you Veiler this, I have no idea why. Other than that, I'm running 2 Maxxs and 2 Veilers just for drawing and stopping my opponent's turn. That's pretty much all there is to be said for that. For our Spell and Trap lineup, we're running triple Domain. This card is stupid. While you have a tribute summoned monster, your opponent can't special summon from the extra deck, or while you're the only one with a tribute summoned monster, they can't summon from the extra deck. When you're attacking a monster with a tribute summoned monster, you can make that monster gain 800 attack, so Erebus becomes 36. It's just stupid as all hell. And then, as added benefit, you can target one level 8 Monarch in your hand and make it level 6, so you only need to tribute one monster in general for it. So it's seriously a great card. It's the one you want to turbo into, more or less, and it's what wins you games against things like Draco Pals and pretty much any rogue deck. Definitely a 3 of alongside Pantheism. Another one of my favorite card arts overall entirely, and I think a lot of people agree. It is the consistency of this deck entirely. It is trade in without having to give up your Monarchs, so you pitch a Monarch Spell and Trap and draw 2, and then when it's in your graveyard you can banish it, reveal 3 Monarch Spell and Trap from your deck, your opponent picks 1 and it goes to your hand, so it's deck thinning like crazy. You can only use the banish effect once per turn, but you can use the general trade-in-esque effect or Destiny Draw effect, whatever you want to call it, unlimited times per turn as long as you can get it, so it's just consistency to the max. Triple Stormforth, just tribute the opponent's monster. We can search it out. It's just so great in this deck. Definitely a 3 of. Triple Tenacity, reveal a monster with 2400 attack, 1000 defense, or 2800 attack and 1000 defense, and then add a Monarch Spell and Trap. So it's just consistency. I'm running 1 return. Basically, when you tribute summon a monster and you have this on the field, you can add another Monarch to your hand. It's great. And March makes them untargetable. For my other 1-ofs, I've got 1 Rhoda to search out Edea, 1 for 1 to search out Edea, and Foolish to get rid of Erebus into the deck from the deck into the graveyard, just so we can pitch a Spell and Trap and get him back in our hand, just effectively searching Erebus. That is it for my spell lineup. For the traps, I'm running 1 Escalation of the Monarchs, basically ultimate offering for tribute summoning. Can work pretty well for disrupting your opponent's turn. Other than that, it's a great thing to pitch and side out. And triple Prime Monarch gives us tribute summons without issue, just banish another one. Another one being another Monarch Spell and Trap from the graveyard, and summon it from the graveyard in defense. It's a 2400 wall, and it's a great tribute. The other great thing you can do is if you have it up as an actual continuous trap, you can target 2 Monarch Spell and Trap in your graveyard, shuffle them in the deck and draw 1. If you have 1 on the field and 1 in the grave, you can kind of play with your chains a little bit. Activate this to target 2, shuffle in the deck and draw 1, then chain this second one's effect from the graveyard, special summon it, you'll shuffle the first one to the deck and draw 1, and it's beautiful. As far as I know, that's a legal play. That's what Dev Pro and things let me do, so if I'm wrong, please let me know. I don't like misinforming people, but I don't know absolutely everything about this game, so I do apologize. But that's it for the deck. We don't run an extra deck because half the cards require you to not play an extra deck, especially Domain. That's the main reason, I tell you. But other than that, that is the Monarch deck. Go ahead, leave a comment, tell me what you think about all this fun stuff. Any sort of deck profile you might want to see or side deck guide, I'll have one coming up for Monarchs in the near future. Go ahead, drop that in the comments, let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on YGO Strats.